because this is going to sound rude though. Because if I say, yeah, they were, but...
No, but it's still relevant because... I do this game, right, where we go through each gaming console and we compare it to something. So we've done like if games consoles were packets of crisps or chocolate bars. And I was going to do if games consoles were podcasts. So we're going to go through sort of like UK podcasts, I guess, and say which console would be which podcast.
Right.
So let's start with PlayStation 4, which is kind of new still. It's been around for a few years though. It's not like the newest model, but it was a good console.
PS4 was a really good, and because this is going to sound rude though. Because if I say, yeah, they were, but
no, but it's still relevant because no one can get hold of the PS5. Well, people can, but not everyone. So everyone's still online on PS4.
So okay, everything I'm saying is all out of respect, and it's all. I mean, obviously, no, it's not all out of respect, because if it wasn't, I would just say it still anyway, but like, still respectfully, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like, so PlayStation 4, been around for a bit, still relevant, still good. I would probably say the receipts. I'd probably say the receipts. Been around for a bit, you know what I mean? Still good. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are still there. Yeah, I would probably say that.
Still playing, you can go online.
Yeah, you can see it exactly.
Yeah, I like
definitely.
that. Okay, let's do like an old school one. Let's do the Sega Mega Drive, which was my first console I ever played. I didn't have one, my auntie had it. It has Sonic on it. So it's a sick console.
Sega Mega Drive. So that is our older pod, because that's what I played Sonic Hedgehog on. Yeah. And I love that as well. Old school podcast.
It could even be like what they talk about on the pod. It doesn't have to be like a pod that's old. Like for me, the PlayStation 2 is my favorite console ever. So I'm kind of like, well, that's my favorite.
That's true. Okay, so it doesn't have to be. It's
not about like
they could have started it last week.
Yeah, but it could still be the Sega.
That podcast, and I actually enjoyed it as well. They're called. It's Spex's podcast, and it's called.
I went on it.
Blackburn signed Zidane.
Yes, I went on that.
Sick. Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. If the Aguero moment hadn't happened at Man City.
What? That's such a sick concept.
And he just sabotaged Man City completely and made Arsenal. So apparently, if Aguero didn't like steal the title off United, then all this effects would happen, and Pep would then go to Arsenal eventually.
Oh yeah. I like that. I love that concept, by the way. But yeah, obviously from what they... Blackburn signing Zidane, innit?
Yeah.
So yeah. So that, I mean, that says a lot, because obviously they're talking about all of these old moments from back then or whatever else and whatever today. Yeah, I would probably say that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do Xbox 360, which was the second Xbox. Arguably the best one, I think.
The Xbox 360...
The Xbox 360 made a lot of people cross over from PlayStation to Xbox. Like, I'd always been team PlayStation. The Xbox 360 came out and I got an Xbox 360. And then I went back to PlayStation later on. So it was a good console.
Do you know what? I might... With that metaphor there, I might say my own pod.
Okay.
And do you know why? Because I think that when we came into podcasting, and I think this even happens now, is that like people come, they stay with us, especially in different countries and that. They find the pod, and then they're like, oh right, okay, shit, this is what else is? Then they go, but then sometimes they always end up just coming back. Do you get what I'm saying? So I would say with that metaphor, I would probably say the HC pod.
I like that.
Yeah.
People may go
they come
stray,
and they're like, oh, this is sick. They enjoy it and that. It then obviously makes them think, wow, what else is there? They go and they find some other stuff that they think is cool, but enough times they end up just
for a while when they come back. Yeah, always come back.
I know where it is, isn't it?
I love that. Okay, PlayStation 5, the new console.
I would probably say PlayStation 5 could be... Wait, I've got one, but let me just think about this very quickly, PlayStation 5, and I think it has to be her, doesn't it? She's got a podcast called, is it Cocktails and Takeaways?
Okay.
Cocktails and Takeaways.
I like that.
So, yeah, I would say her podcast is PlayStation 5 because she's like the new podcaster that is like really making noise at the moment. Yeah. A lot of people are going on there and stuff like that. She's holding it down on her own. And I would probably say, yeah, that's kind of where the noise is at a little bit. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's like early days.
Early days.
Not everyone has the PS5 yet.
No.
So there's still, like, people are still trying to get it.
Right.
So it's a new podcast.
Right.
People
are talking about it.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are talking about it. Like, it's doing its thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cocktails
I like
and
that.
takeaways.
Okay, and let's do the last one. Let's do the Game Boy. So handheld. For me, when I think of Game Boy, I think of Pokemon Red and Blue and Tetris. You had Tetris on the Game Boy.
Oh yeah, I used to love Tetris, boy.
Game Boys were so easy.
You still play that?
Yeah. What, Tetris?
Yeah.
I still play Tetris.
Is it, yeah? Well, okay.
It was like I think it set trends for handheld consoles.
Okay, I've got one. Let me see why I think this. So, Game Boy, kind of old school. What is old school, to be fair. The games on there, good games in that too. I would say as well, yeah. So, even though Game Boy had a lot of different games, Tetris did feel like a prominent game, didn't it?
I think it's one of the best-selling games of all time, or something along those lines. Tetris is definitely.
I'm gonna go with a podcast called Off the Cuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with them because these guys are guys with experience. They are very versed in like the conversations and stuff that they have. But I think when they talk about music, they are super. They just make some very good, poignant points in that. You know what I mean? That's like almost like a specialist field for them, which is kind of like the Tetris. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like Tetris is, although there's like many other games or whatever, and they can play. Obviously, there's a bunch of other games, but the Tetris game seems to me, for me anyway, seems to be like the game. And I think when these men are talking about music, that's when they're fully in their bag. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah, man.
You played
Honourable
the
shout out to
game
them.
well.